Retirement is a happy event for those who are still working, but it also signifies getting older. You have to put down your work and stay idle at home. Some people feel that retirement is great. They no longer have to clock in and out and don't have to work under anyone's watchful eye. But after truly retiring, they realize that humans are social creatures. We need to interact with others and have a bit of social life and connection. At first, it feels wonderful and blissful to wake up naturally without an alarm. But after a while, one might start to miss the joys of working life. Some people will find things to do again, while others may say it's just creating unnecessary work for oneself. After all, if one's financial situation is good, who would want to suffer? However, not everyone who finds something to do after retirement thinks it's a burden. On the contrary, they feel that having something to do is a joyful and fulfilling thing. Not only do they immerse themselves in activities they love, but they can also earn some money. The satisfaction in the heart is something money cannot buy. In our community, 56-year-old Sister May has been retired for 6 years. Her only son works and has a family in the South, so she doesn't need to help with childcare. Initially, she felt very free and happy after retirement, but over time, she also began to feel lonely and bored. One day, an encounter downstairs led her to discover a new joy in life. The story of 56-year-old Sister May. I am 56 years old and have been retired for 6 years. My husband will retire in 2 years. Our only son has settled in the South, married, and had a child. His in-laws are with them, so I don't need to help with childcare. We send a monthly token of love to our grandson. The first 2 years after my retirement were particularly happy and comfortable. I practiced Tai Chi with a group every day, learning and performing with them. We participated in competitions and performed in community or social activities. I felt life was great. When you see various conflicts and calculations, you realize that it's not only in the workplace where these things exist. As long as there are people, there will be disputes. Originally, practicing Tai Chi was just to exercise and cultivate my body and mind, allowing myself to attain inner peace. But when things don't go as planned, it's best to choose what you love and quietly cultivate in peace. In 2018, I accidentally saw an online writing course. I thought it only cost the same as a piece of clothing, so I signed up, thinking that even if I didn't learn much, at least I could understand what the current new media stories were like. After more than a year of studying, my writing skills significantly improved, and I even started earning an income, which made me feel a little happiness. Reading more books and practicing Tai Chi became the main themes of my retirement life. In the spring of 2019, while I was practicing Tai Chi in the small garden downstairs, a 70-year-old lady would always sit on the long bench watching. At first, she would sit there every day during my practice time, and I just thought she was sunbathing. One day, after finishing my practice, as I was about to leave, the lady called me over and talked to me for a long time. She asked if I was alone and why she had never seen me before. I told her that we used to live in a suburban company residence, and now that I'm retired, I moved back to the city. My husband leaves early and comes back late for work, so she rarely sees him. At the end of the conversation, the lady asked, "Are you really retired? You don't look a day over 50. This made me feel quite happy. Being told you look young does give a sense of vanity. The lady then asked if I would be willing to cook lunch for her every day and help tidy up the house a bit. She emphasized that she would not have me do this for free, she would pay me. I told her I needed to discuss it with my husband first, and that I cooked light meals because I'm from the South but now live in the North. The lady was very happy and said, "That's great. I'm also from the South, and I love light, small dishes." She said she would see me again the next day at the same time after I had thought it over. That evening, after my husband came home from work, we went for a walk after dinner. I told him what had happened that morning. He said, "It's up to you. As long as you're happy, don't overwork yourself. Making money isn't the priority." I replied, "Then I'll try it out for a while. After all, our son doesn't need us, and my parents are with my brother's family. You eat lunch at work, so it won't affect my ability to make dinner for you in the evening." My husband asked, "Won't it be too tiring for you?" I said, "Spending time with the lady will help me understand the psychological world of the elderly, which is beneficial for my writing. We're mutually benefiting each other." The next day, the lady was waiting for me in the same spot. After I finished practicing, we sat on the bench, and I told her that my husband agreed. The lady immediately looked very happy, stood up, took my hand, and said, "Great. Come with me now." The lady lived in Block B of our community. As we slowly walked to her apartment, she said, "I've been noticing you practicing Tai Chi alone in the park for a while now, and I thought you lived alone too." She lived on the first floor, which was convenient. Her apartment was a 2-bedroom unit, nicely laid out. The furniture was old-fashioned, and the kitchen was okay, though some details needed attention. It was 10 a.m. by then, so I asked what time she usually had lunch and what kind of food she liked. Did she prefer rice or steamed buns? She said she liked soft rice and light, soft dishes because her teeth weren't in great shape. I told her to rest and watch TV while I tidied up the kitchen, cooked lunch, and then cleaned the rest of the house. The lady said there was no rush, there wasn't much to cook anyway. She pulled me onto the sofa, saying, "Youth is wonderful. Look at your hands, do you not do housework often?" I knew she needed someone to sit with her and listen to her talk. Even if I didn't say much and just smiled, it would make her very happy and satisfied. After I cooked lunch and tidied the house, I told the lady that I would cook for her for free for 3 days. If she was satisfied, we could sign a contract. The lady suggested paying me weekly, 350 yuan per week, and asked if that was acceptable. I said it wasn't urgent and that I would work for a few days first, and if she was satisfied, we could discuss payment. After spending 3 days at the lady's house, she was very pleased and satisfied, feeling I did a good job and that the meals were good. She asked several times if 350 yuan per week was okay. I replied, "As long as you're happy, the payment is up to you." So, every morning at 10:30, I would go to her house to cook, clean, and chat with her. By 12:30, when she went for her nap, I would go home, make some lunch for myself, and then read or write. In the evening, I'd wait for my husband to come home for dinner and our walk. I would discuss the next day's meals with the lady ahead of time, and when I bought groceries in the morning, I would get everything I needed. After Tai Chi, I would go straight to her house. This routine made the time pass quickly. After 6 months with the lady, I realized that what she cared about wasn't so much the food but having someone sit with her on the sofa and chat, listening to her talk about the customs of the South, the beauty of the misty Jiangnan, and stories from the past. Perhaps, as people age, they no longer have high expectations for food, instead, they seek inner solace. Having someone accompany them, listening to their stories, is a way of releasing emotions and a kind of spiritual support. Sometimes, even when the lady talked for a long time, I wouldn't rush her. Seeing her happy made me feel blessed. As the saying goes, giving roses to others leaves a lingering fragrance on the hand. Written at the end. Some people in the community knew that I cooked for the lady every day and chatted with her, earning 350 yuan a week. They felt it wasn't worth it, that I was giving more than I was getting. But things aren't calculated that way. I would be alone at home during the day if not for cooking for the lady, and it gives me something to care about. When I chat with the lady, I also learn a lot. As we grow old, the challenge is not about having money but about constantly growing and learning. The elderly also need to learn how to face loneliness, how to live with it, and how to dance with solitude. This way, they won't feel so lonely in their later years. Meeting this lady has brought joy and fulfillment to my retirement life. It has enriched me and allowed me to truly understand the inner world of the elderly, which is a very good thing for me. I am willing to continue doing this as long as I can. Thank you for watching. I hope today's sharing has touched you in some way. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click subscribe so we can accompany you every day. Let's grow together, be happy together, and grow old together. See you next time.